And there had obviously been a recent history between the guy behind the cash register and the guy that was walking in, because the guy behind the register was just like, no, and started freaking out.
Okay, welcome to Reckless and the Recluse. I'm Ashley Baca. We have Judy Caps, and we have a special guest, Hilary, Ijieh, and she has been in the US for only the pandemic. She's from South Africa. Yeah, and so we're gonna ask her how everything is back home with her family, see how reckless she's been, or reclusive. We don't know.
I like how quickly we just jumped right in. This is exciting.
Yeah, are you an Ashley or a Judy? Let's start there.
I think I'm a Judy.
We got a lot of Judys on here. This is great.
Yeah.
If it depends how you compare it, because if I were to compare myself to Ashley, you know, because if I compare myself to like my friends, I would say, oh, I am an Ashley, definitely. But then I see how Ashley actually lives. I'm making sense, right?
Uh-huh.
So by comparison, I am a Judy to Ashley. But to my friends, I am an Ashley.
I see. So she makes you look like a Judy, just like I make the guests look even better because I look terrible.
Yes.
It's a similar sort of thing. I just like purposely every episode just like look worse and worse. And,
every time I bring someone on here who knows me, I just sound more and more wild.
You do?
Yeah.
So you two know each other in person? Have you seen Ashley in real life?
Yes.
Are you in the same room right now?
Have you seen me in real life?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen you past this square. I'm just
Is that you just walk around with like a frame around you in real life too?
She doesn't like to be seen past this.
I like the rest to be a mystery, you know?
I do. I understand. I've been living a different life, you know, on Zoom. I'm a completely different person. For one, I mean, we've talked about this. I'm tall. On Zoom, I'm tall as fuck. And I have really nice shoes.
Big arms.
And I'm just living as a person that's tall with nice shoes on Zoom. And
word for it.
No, I said tall shoes and you have big arms under those big sweaters, right?
I have giant arms and I have wonderful quads.
He does own a Peloton, so maybe he does have amazing quads that he's hiding from us.
I'll take your word for it. I would love to see Judy stand up and just be jacked from the waist down.
I would too.
Are you going to stand up? No? Okay.
No, I mean...
You got to keep the mystery until quarantine's over.
Keep it intact.
Yeah, the guest needs to look good, so don't stand.
We want the Romanians to remember you as a 6'2" white man with luscious hair that visited once.
I mean, I could pull off 6'2" with luscious hair on Zoom, I think.
And probably Vans.
Vans?
Probably.
I do have a pair of bright green Vans right now.
There we go.
Yeah. So, well, to fill people in on what you're talking about, our main audience is in Romania right now. So we're thinking about taking the whole operation over there, right?
Oh,
already started learning Romanian today.
Okay,
right.
Sure.
How do you say reckless and the recluse in Romanian again? I forgot.
You're going to put this on me. I got to think of something to say now. I'm tired. I got to come up with something that sounds like Romanian.
Mm-hmm. Without offending your demographic.
Yeah.
Well, I am Romanian. I am partially Romanian. I'm Eastern European. So I don't think I'm allowed to say whatever I want, right?
Yeah.
It's a free pass.
Yeah.
That's how it works?
Yeah. She can say the N-word with a hard R if she wants to.
One of
Can we do that on a different show, though?
I'm not saying she's going to do it today. I just said she can if she wants to.
It's my final party trick at the end of the podcast.
Okay. Let's move on to something else so I don't have to think of how to talk Romanian. But I will say I have been to Romania, and that's what you're referring to. And that's for real. I have been there. And the one thing that I was told before we got there was don't ever stop moving because you will get robbed. So I would just be like standing there and I would just be doing this. Like nobody could get in my pockets unless they're like,
you could have just bought one of those like little traveling necklace things and put everything in your chest, but instead the whole time they're like, that guy has lice, I think.
I just
It
like
was this movement that made the Romanians be like, oh, I wonder what he talks about.
Oh,
that's right. That's right. Very memorable. And then they saw me and they were like, that's me. I'm probably really famous in Romania. I'm just like they probably started a whole dance. Just this. It's called the pickpocket.
Oh.
Because you can't.
In South Africa,
you can't do it.
We can't?
You can't pickpocket somebody when they're doing the dance.
No, I thought it was going to be like only Romanians can do this dance type of thing.
What'd you say in South Africa? What?
We have a different dance, but it's just called the SWAT.
Don't put your pocket?
Yes.
Have you almost been pickpocketed at all, Hilary?
So my friend was pickpocketed and I saw the guy like reach into a pocket and I grabbed his hand and was like, don't do this. And he was like, oh, sorry.
Sorry.
You're homeless. I get it. I'm not angry.
But you've been caught. So
yeah. So I have been robbed or almost robbed though. Attempted robbery.
Ooh, okay. Tell us that story.
So I woke up one night and I turned to see like this dark figure and he had like my laptop in his hand. And I thought it was my brother because he was wearing an oversized jacket, which I later found out was actually my brother's jacket. Rude. You know? First of all, your confidence in my house. Second of all, it doesn't fit you. But he's standing with my laptop and I'm like, what are you doing? Because I'm thinking it's my brother. And he goes, go to sleep. But now in this high-pitched voice. And I'm like, what's happening? No. And I turn and it's this like middle-sized little man who's now broken into my house and had my laptop in his hand. He was like, go to sleep. And I was like, where did you come from? And he's like, yo, you have to go to sleep. So he puts my laptop down and he tries to like cover my head with the blanket. And now I'm like a little pissed. I'm like, no, where did you come from? And he's just like, stay quiet, stay quiet. And then I see him grabbing my laptop, which by the way was like a week old at this point. So I was like, please don't take my laptop. It's a MacBook, it's expensive. I'm not gonna get another one. I'm gonna get I don't know, PC.
Adele.
Yeah, Adele. God.
Asus.
That's even worse.
Exactly. I had my MacBook. So he switches on the light after I say, don't take my laptop. And he's like, well, you have to give me something else. So I know where I put my wallet. I usually put my wallet in like this little bag in front of my door. And I stood up to get it. As I stood up, by the way, he's like here, I'm on my bed. As I stand up, I find out that he's like 2 feet tall. He probably weighs 8 pounds. And I'm like, you're not serious, man. And he does this bullshit thing. He tries to like hide his face and he does this, but his shirt is this low. So he's like.
What kind of criminals do you have?
Like, I think honestly,
professionals.
We don't have professional thieves. We have petty crime thieves. I think he just got in over his head and was just like, whoa, big house, door open. And then
your door was open.
Yeah, well, our side gate was open. I think the pool cleaners like left it open and he was able to sneak through a window. He had a screwdriver and he like pinched the window open.
I mean, he may be small, but it sounds like he's got giant balls. And like the confidence to go into somebody's house and put on one of the people's clothes so they might blend in. And you're like, and then tell somebody to go to sleep. And then your question is, where did you come from? That's also confusing. It's like, by the way, where are you from? Because I just want to know. Maybe I can like,
We can
geofilter some. Yeah, maybe we can write letters to one another. I mean, I just got this new MacBook, but I'm not going to use it. Maybe I'll pen it and I'll mail it to you. If you could just let me know where you come from instead of leave my house.
Well, did you ask him to leave after that?
No, I was polite. No, I'm just like,
You are so polite.
I don't think I had any power. There was a stranger in my house. I was like, oh, let me just be polite and see.
And then he tucked you in.
It was so sweet. I feel
this
bad.
is like a story for like, this is so weird, but like me and my husband met in the weirdest way. That's like where this is going.
If that's how I meet my husband, I'm mad.
How do you want to meet your husband?
What?
In a normal way, Judy. How do you want to meet your husband?
In a normal way, I would love to bump him in the grocery store or something, not have him burglarize.
Come on, you think that's normal? You think that happens?
No.
Okay, let's lay it out though. Which aisle are you in?
Fruit and veg.
I don't know. That's like a whole section. That's an area. Produce?
Not very private.
Chili too. Chili. So you're covered up. So unlikely.
That's like my personality first.
I guess so. Okay, so you're fruit and veg. You're going. What are you reaching for?
Fruit.
Which one?
Bananas. Come on, Hilary.
I don't know. I actually thinks I like bananas for some reason.
Oh my God.
What do you like?
I'm gonna go with bananas.
All right. So you're reaching for, and then do you go for like mostly green, totally green, no green?
Depends what I have in the house. But let's go for half green.
Okay. So you want to eat them like in 2 days?
Yes.
You want to start on the bunch?
Yes.
Okay. Starting on the bunch in 2 days. So you've got probably 2.5 bananas at home that are ready to blend.
Who has a half banana? Okay.
People that make smoothies do.
Okay.
And Hilary strikes me as a smoothie person. I don't know why. Yep.
Okay, keep going.
All right. So you're reaching for a bundle of bananas. And do your hands touch, or do you happen to look up across the cardboard and see the guy? He's probably reaching for.
He's reaching for ripe bananas because he's gonna make banana bread.
Oh, okay. And so is he gonna invite you?
The first
He's
thing.
like, oh, you like bananas too? Want to come over for some banana bread? What kind of guy?
And then hi.
You guys just do the Lady and the Tramp, but with one banana?
I think that's
closer. He keeps pulling you in as you're trying to grab the banana. And he's making sure you have a good grip. That's how he's like, oh, she knows what she's doing.
I can't believe you turned my perfect man into a fuckboy.
Oh. Well, it's bananas. You could have went with strawberries.
You laid out the scenario.
You're right.
You went phallic.
Yeah, you should have been thinking round. You should.
But then he's going to be turned on by the way you grasp the banana, and then you're going to drop it in a blender and look him in the eyes and grind it up and just be like, Zh, and
I
then
think
see what he does.
That's going to get us kicked out of Trader Joe's, but worth the try.
Trader Joe's is a very open place. They might let you bring the blender in. Does she have a battery-powered blender?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I walk around with it.
Oh, okay.
I'm a smoothie person. So.
She's a smoothie person, right? She got in the car. Yeah.
Just at all times.
The engine powers the blender. You don't have those?
Oh, I guess I'm weird. No.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll show you one. I'll show you mine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like Trader Joe's, I feel like people have definitely gotten married at Trader Joe's. Like they have their wedding there. Like we met at Trader Joe's and we want to have the ceremony here. Can we?
See, you said it didn't. That was unlikely.
I mean, it has to have happened. Yes, unlikely, but like.
I think it's happened. I'm sure it's happened.
Hillary, have you ever seen a cute guy at Trader Joe's?
Not with everyone walking around like this.
Oh yeah, I forgot you've only been here for the pandemic.
So you came here specifically for coronavirus?
Yes. I could have stayed home with my family and beloved ones, but I really wanted to like struggle it out here.
Got it. When did you arrive?
January 17th, 2020.
Oh, okay. So you had a nice four or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And what did you do?
I went to school. So I didn't even do anything.
Damn.
She like lives in LA but doesn't live in LA.
I live in a watered down version of LA.
What does that mean? There's no water in LA.
That's true. A lot of fires here. A lot more than I thought, by the way.
Same. How do you feel about the air quality?
I mean, I don't think I'm too sensitive to the air, so I like only notice when I'm choking, like outside. But other than that, I get a notification to say stay indoors, and I'm like, oh, that's different.
That's scary, right?
The air's gonna kill you too.
So, when you're at home with your family, do you ever get a notification of like a small man has entered your house or anything like that?
So our alarm system, if we're just returning back to that story, our alarm system like was broken that week.
He picked a good
Conveniently.
week.
He picked a very good week. He picked the wrong room though.
Yeah, because he picked an insomniac's room, insomniac's laptop.
That's true, actually.
Damn, he's right.
He
I don't know how, but he was able to get away with grabbing my phone actually and putting it in his pocket. And I usually sleep with my phone like here.
Really?
So, yeah.
So you're into coronavirus and like radiation.
Mm-hmm.
You're just putting your
all. I don't notice smells because my nose doesn't work anymore.
Right. So that could be the phone or coronavirus. No sense of smell. Yeah. Yeah,
Wait,
you're making it.
Why is she into coronavirus?
She moved to the US just to try to get it.
Oh, okay.
The most highly populated place.
She's like Helen Hunt in the movie Twister, where she follows tornadoes. Hilary follows diseases around wherever there's a disease, she's going.
Mm-hmm. We had Ebola for a good minute. We had malaria.
And now she's like, go to COVID Central.
And just party and make out with. I feel like, wait, who else was in that movie? Was it Bill Paxton? Probably.
Yeah.
Not. It was?
Yeah. Wasn't he the main guy?
That sounds right, but it sounds too right. Like it couldn't be. But yeah, probably.
I gotta think. Maybe it's someone who looks like Bill Paxton. The other, yeah, it is a different guy. He's kind of like cowboyish and tall.
I don't know.
I'm gonna act like I know the reference. Oh yeah, Bill Paxton.
Oh, have you seen
another movie? I mean, Helen Hunt in her prime. Do you know who Helen Hunt is? You can say no.
No.
Yeah, she was like more popular in the 90s. She was quite popular in the 90s.
Yeah.
She's still like in stuff now, but that was kind of her decade.
Nobody cares about her now, though.
Yeah, I mean, she's not in her, she's not 30 years old right now.
She was like the main actress. What's that movie with Jack Nicholson? That's my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies. And with her and
One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest. I don't know why that was the first one. First.
Yeah, the 90s. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Hell of a decade for film. Are you thinking about no, As Good as It Gets?
Yes, As Good as It Gets. I couldn't think of that. I love that movie.
That's a good movie. Hilary, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite wholesome movie is The Parent Trap, the second version.
What's your favorite not wholesome movie? No one's ever answered the question like that.
Well, I'm a film major. No, just wait. Probably, I don't want to sound like, probably Thor Ragnarok. I really like that movie, actually.
Okay. I've never seen it.
Watch it. It's a good movie.
Wait, which one? Thor?
Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
The one with his sister.
Yes, I was just making sure. Really? That's your favorite? Now I know.
I like that movie.
Oh, no, I get, but I'm just saying now I know like what your style of movie you're going for.
Yeah.
It's not Malcolm and Marie.
Harold and Maude.
Have you seen it? Malcolm and Marie?
Yeah, have you seen Malcolm?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it's a movie on Netflix, and me and Hilary tried to watch it, and it was very I made 15 minutes in.
Why?
The acting for me.
Bad?
Not bad, just not what I wanted to see for that role, for that character. Not bad though.
I mean, I know nothing about it, so I have no idea. But sure, I believe you. That's a reasonable take.
But me and Hilary have been watching WandaVision, and it's really good. Have you watched that?
No, but I've heard of that. I'm very busy. I would like to watch stuff.
Busy doing what? Being on Zoom?
Work. No, today I'm off. My work. I have a job, and it just got. I was about to say it got worse, but it got busier. I'll go with busier.
Do you like it? What are you doing right now?
Now I manage a team of contact tracers. I like kind of one step up. So it's like way more stressful. So
but you don't have to call anymore.
No, not really. Which is kind of good, but also, you know,
how
not
is it
as
more
chill.
Stressful? Okay. So you were more chill Judy.
There's a lot more stuff to do now. And it's one of those things where, like, obviously I'm working from home, so I could just be working 100% of the time. I have to draw strict barriers. Like, okay, not going to even look at the emails or whatever today. Like today, I'm not
Oh, you're that type of person that will just work?
No, it's not that. It's just like I feel guilty because like I could be working, you know? Like I could be helping other people out.
You need to meditate that out of your body and take care of your free time and not worry.
Be selfish.
I figured it out. I mean, today I'm not doing shit other than, you know, things I want to do. Like, so that starts after this.
Us. Damn, that's so nice.
I'm just kidding. So, I put my hair up.
Just for us. I put my hair up too because it's a look for this podcast.
My head doesn't go down, so.
Your hair looks great though.
Thank you.
Okay, Hilary. So what's your family's life been like for quarantine?
So the rest of my family all live together. It's my mom, my dad, my two brothers, and then my brother's girl. And they have 2.5 kids now. And they all just live in this one. She's pregnant. Oh. I think there's a better way I could explain that. That's fair.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. but they've been together the entire time. So I think they've been enjoying themselves, their like company, like it's never quiet in that house. As far as like dealing with COVID, South Africa has been dealing with restrictions differently. Like they banned alcohol week 1. And I think they've only had like 3 full weeks of a non-alcoholic ban in South Africa since March 2020.
What's the reasoning?
I think it's supposed to discourage group parties, like getting together. And
so are you allowed to buy alcohol and bring it home and drink, or not even?
Not even. Not even. I know. And also we had.
Sure.
It makes sense, but I'll be so pissed.
Really? You like drinking?
Not as much as some other reckless people, but enough to want to have a bottle every now and then.
I feel like you can be pretty reclusive and
a whole bottle. Pardon?
I'm thinking that you can also be pretty reclusive and still like to drink alcohol. Exactly. Those things can go together pretty hard. When it's bad, it's bad. But I mean, I don't have that. That's not a thing for me, luckily. But, you know, I had 2 beers last night and I have never felt worse in my life today. So
I was going to say, you have a beer in your party. You have one beer and you're like,
I think I have to just be done forever. Like I can't deal with it. Makes me feel so bad.
last night I had like 4 shots of tequila.
It just hurts to hear.
What does?
That I had 4 shots of tequila.
Oh, that part. I thought you meant me not wanting to drink anymore. What hurts more?
I meant to stay home yesterday, but I didn't.
Hilary, what kind of almost reckless are you? Are you like drink out of a fishbowl at a bar? Is that something you do?
No, honestly, no. I think maybe when I was like 19, yes.
Okay.
But
would you ever go?
Go ahead.
No, I have a new question. So go ahead, finish yours.
I probably don't get as drunk as I want to anymore because I can't stay drunk for a good minute. I'll teeter. I'll only be getting drunk and then too drunk.
Right.
The moment is yeah.
So you're getting to like a very steep mountain and you can only stand at the top for a quick second and then somebody's behind you and pushes you over.
Yep.
I get it. And then you're tumbling down the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The annoying part is the entire way down, I'm still very like aware. So I'm feeling all of the pain. I'll be awake if I'm very awake when I'm drunk, if that makes sense. Like I'm aware of all my actions.
Okay. I thought you meant like, because when I'm drinking, I can't sleep. So I'm very awake in that way.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying she doesn't black out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. We're 2 different kinds of awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you the type of reckless where you would go to a bar in like a bathing suit, one of those bars?
No.
Okay.
No.
I would.
Actually would. I believe that.
Okay.
I
Would you?
I went drinking on the beach with Hilary like 2 weeks ago. Not just Hilary. There was a lot of people there, but
Just me.
And this is when you ran naked?
yeah.
Uh-huh. So your answer would be no bathing suit.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
I'm trying to think of other scenarios that wild people do. Would you ever stand at the bar and wait for somebody to come so you can get a free drink? Like wait for a guy to come along? No?
No.
Okay.
I can tell you what type of.
I would order a drink and wait for the free drink. You got to keep them coming.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you can tell me, but I want to figure it out. All right. I'll try to think of one more. Would you, something about dancing. Okay. Would you be one of the people that would you lose a shoe on the dance floor? Never. Ashley, would you lose a shoe?
Oh no, that grosses me out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So dirty.
Okay. I mean, I've lost shoes.
I'm reckless, but I'm a little bit of a germaphobe.
Got it. So you don't dance close?
No, not too close.
Not too close? Keep a distance?
Yeah.
Reckless within means.
Within means. Okay, Hilary, what type of reckless are you? Paint a picture.
I think probably the most reckless thing I've done since living here is that I don't care about my own safety and I will be out late. I'll use the bus system. I'll walk next to a crackhead and I'll make eye contact. Like,
okay. To put this into, tell the story about you.
Okay.
Hitchhiking, then tell the story the other night where you ended up in East Hollywood by yourself with no bus and no Uber.
Fine. So the hitchhiking story honestly isn't as bad as the word hitchhiking, but it was like in March last year and I just missed my bus and it was like peak traffic time, like 5 or 6 p.m. And so I just missed my bus and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? A car pulls up like right next to me and is like, hey, I just saw you run for your bus and miss it. Would you like to get in? And so normally I would just say no, but I like assessed my situation. He was like mid-30s, late 30s type of man. He had 2 kids with him, a little boy, he must have been like 5 or 6, and a little girl who was like 2.
Seems more, okay, keep going.
No, what'd you say?
Seems more unsafe. Okay, keep going.
Those 2 kids were actually hostages, and I was just
you were just the 3rd kid.
Exactly.
Fine, if you think about it like that. But so I got in, I was like, okay, I don't want to take an Uber. It was peak traffic time as well, so I was like, fuck it. And I'm in the car for like 2 minutes. The girl starts to complain that she needs to pee. So we pull off to like this little gas station on the side, and he takes her in to pee, and he leaves me with his son and the key in the ignition. And I'm like, I could rob you. I could take you and the car and the money in the wallet that I just saw. But I'm like,
I know you're actually Nigerian. He must have been like, oh, I think he sounds English.
He sounds English. Good one.
What kind of car was it?
It was, oh God, I don't even know what type of car it was. I did very little assessing, realistically enough.
Yeah.
Nothing that could have saved me.
And as you're just like, can we make a right turn here? And he just keeps going. You're like, where are you from? Where did you come from? Like before you do whatever you're gonna do to me, before you take me wherever you go, I have to ask, where are you from?
We actually did ask a few of those questions, and I found out that he lived in Africa for a good minute. His wife was from like Kenya or something. So the kids had actually been to Cape Town, which is where I'm from.
Okay.
And so I even got his number. If I called him right now, I don't know if you'd answer, but I have his number.
Well, I mean, we haven't done a bit like that on this podcast, but we could.
If you want to call him.
Hello? Hi, do you remember picking me up a year ago?
I'm on a podcast right now. And they're wondering what the hell is wrong with you.
Probably.
No, him. I mean, the whole thing is very shady, but
I agree. How dare he
But it
pick up
turned out perfectly fine for all of them. She didn't steal the kid in the car. He didn't murder her.
Mhm.
Like,
I understand, like, you have to really want to be a criminal to be a criminal. And like, granted, some people do, but it seems like a lot of effort, you know, like, yeah, I think all those thoughts run through all of our minds. Like, oh, I could just take this car right now. But then you're just like, I'm going to have to deal with this car. And then like, these are the consequences potentially that I'm facing by doing this. Like I'd have fun for what, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe an hour.
and then kid would need to pee.
Yeah. Who wants to have a kid? Who wants to kidnap a kid? You have to really, 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 really want to kidnap a kid to kidnap a kid.
It was really talkative too. I would have been so
Fuck
annoyed.
that. Yeah.
But I have to kill the kid. I don't want to make these choices.
Like, oh man, being that kind of criminal, like you really gotta want it. That sucks. I can't imagine. He seemed like
So
what?
what about the other night when you were alone in the dark in East Hollywood?
So this was Christmas night, like Christmas morning, like 1 a.m. Christmas morning. I just left my friends. I celebrated Christmas Eve with her and her parents. And so I called my Uber on the way down, and it canceled when I got outside. And then I looked across the street and I saw my bus that I usually take to go home. So I was like, let me just take the bus and save $12, whatever, fine. So I get on the bus. I end up sitting there like without it driving off for like 8 minutes. And I'm like, I don't know if this bus is maybe out of service or whatever, but like there's other people on the bus. And I stand up, I see there's no one in the driver's seats. And I'm just like, I made a mistake already. But that didn't stop me because the girl eventually gets on. I'm like, okay, we're on our way. I had to do some reading for class. So I was very distracted on my phone until like 10 minutes in. I look on my map and I see that I'm supposed to go here. I'm going here. And so I'm like, I go to the girl, I'm like, hi, where's this bus going? She's like, Pasadena. I'm like, oh. It's not where I'm supposed to go. And she's like, well, the next stop is the last stop. And then I'm going to circle around and then come get you. And I was, okay. And she was like, so you have to get off the bus. I'm like,
well, why couldn't you just stay on the whole time?
he had to like do something like with everyone off the bus. I don't know why. Maybe she had to like put in gas or something like that. But nonetheless, she needed us all.
You can't be a witness to that.
Maybe, I guess not. So then I get off on the last stop and I'm like freaking out now because it's like 1:40 a.m. It's super quiet because it's Christmas morning. There's probably me, a man that was walking up and down the street, two other people that were on the bus, and then a stranger down the road. And I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble. I'm dangerously in trouble. And I usually have my pepper spray on me, but this time I didn't. So I was just exposed to the world, like with no protection. Anyway, I was going to call an Uber. I get on my phone. I was like, fine, let me just take my L's. But it's like $40 at this point. Yes, because it's Christmas. So I was like, okay, that's fair.
And she's way further away now.
And I'm double the trip away. So I was just like, okay, fine. Let me wait around until that man that was crossing the street starts to come my way. And I'm like, oh, no. Okay. So I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm just going to call an Uber. I'm sorry. I really fucked up. I'm like 2 hours away from home. I'm scared. Let me go home. And she's like, okay, it's fine. I didn't tell her that I was out in public because she would have murdered me alone. So I just said that I'm going to call an Uber. But as I say that, the bus starts to come. So I'm just like, oh, yeah, let me call this Uber. And then I just took the bus all the way back home. Or at least two. So I'm supposed to take two buses. I'm supposed to take one bus until the end of East Hollywood, the beginning of East Hollywood, and then take one all the way into where I stay now. But that bus had now stopped. It wasn't like driving around because it's 2 a.m. now. So okay. Now I'm at the 7-Eleven by East Hollywood, and I was like, okay, so I can't call an Uber because there was also no Ubers that coming up because everyone was with their families or asleep at 2 a.m. on Christmas morning. Mm-hmm. And so I called the Uber and no one comes. So I stay in the 7-Eleven for a good minute. I tried to take one of the birds to come home because I'm like really close, but the two I tried on, both were broken. So I was like, what do you want, God? Do you want me to live here? And I go back into the 7-Eleven and then this man who is at this point shirtless is hanging over this woman. They enter the 7-Eleven. And he goes to the cashier and he's like, are you looking at my girl? And he's like, I'm not looking at you. He's like, I think you want to fuck her. And she's just like taking it. And I'm like, God. What?
Wait, can I ask, is this a 7-Eleven at in East Hollywood on Sunset and Wilton?
Yes, I think so.
Why? What story do you have there?
I used to live around the corner from that 7-Eleven, and that 7-Eleven got wild. Like so my friend was a manager at there's a bar like right on that same block called Gold Diggers, which is like actually a nice bar, but that block is real shady. So I'd go to that bar sometimes to hang out with him. And then I'd always go to that 7-Eleven, like walking home. And one night I was in there, it couldn't have been that late, maybe like before midnight. And, well, something weird just happened. So I'm in there and then, so I'm like waiting in line to check out with whatever I was buying. And some guy comes in and there had obviously been a recent history between the guy behind the cash register and the guy that was walking in, because the guy behind the register was just like, no, and started freaking out. And the guy started walking into the 7-Eleven and the cashier left his post. He was like, no, goes into the back, comes out with an aluminum baseball bat. And this guy was just standing outside the door. He didn't even come in, but whatever he did, he must have really made an impression, because this fucking guy that works at that 7-Eleven swings the bat and destroys the entire glass door of this in the front of the 7-Eleven. He just smashed his own door because a man almost walked into the 7-Eleven. And then, so I'm just standing there like 10 feet away, like, cool. Just going to get this water and then I'm going to step gingerly over this broken glass and get the fuck out of this 7-Eleven because this shit is crazy. So that 7-Eleven is a wild place.
See, that's why I just avoid 7-Elevens altogether. I just don't go in them. I have no stories.
Smart.
That's not reckless enough, Ashley.
Yeah, you see, I didn't mean to put myself in that situation. I was actually just, probably buying a bottle of water, which is the least reckless thing you can do. But there was
11, it's reckless.
Where else?
Honestly, okay, so I'm kidding. I don't avoid 7-Elevens completely, but we do not walk to the 7-Eleven by our apartment anymore because too many wild things have happened. Not in the 7-Eleven, but around it.
Yeah.
Like shootings and people getting stabbed and carjackings and.
Is that the one on Hollywood?
That
one of them
too, but the one on Highland and Franklin, I think.
Okay, I don't know. There's a lot. There are many 7-Elevens. If anyone in Romania doesn't know what 7-Eleven is, it's like a convenience store. They sell pretty much anything you could want. Most of them are pretty safe, but in LA they get sketchy. So
they also have taquitos and pizza that you that just are running on a conveyor belt all day.
Right. They have sometimes I think those tubes, like those black tubes that keep the hot dogs hot, are just old burnt hot dogs that they just now become part of the machine and they roll the new hot dogs on. Have you ever eaten a 7-Eleven hot dog?
I have never eaten their food except one time I was in Denver and I was 21 and we went out all night and we went to the 7-Eleven and my friend bought a pack of those like taquitos. And he bought like 12 of them. So we were eating them and giving them to the homeless people on the way back to the hotel. That was so I ate like one. And I can't tell you how it tasted.
My friend Danielle, actually her favorite pizza was 7-Eleven pizza. Like for real. And
I've had it.
It's bad, right?
Yeah, it's thick. It's not cheese.
I have a couple. Yeah, what is that stuff? I haven't tried it, but we have a couple of friends that like it.
Yeah.
And then I have a friend whose like favorite food is pizza, and he says the 7-Eleven pizza is his favorite. And I'm like, you don't like pizza. Like,
right.
That's not your favorite food. Your favorite food is
Processed
salt.
Yeah, it is a completely different food. I don't know, because we were in like Philly, which has good pizza.
Yeah.
And she go to 7-Eleven and get you go to 7-Eleven if you want a fucking like Snickers ice cream bar or something very specific like that. That's like a packaged thing.
Yeah, we go for hot Cheetos.
Sure, hot Cheetos. And usually if you need a combination of things, you're like, I need hot Cheetos, I need a yellow Gatorade and condoms. You're like, oh, 7-Eleven has all of those things. Let's go there right now. Like, we're going to have a nice night. Remember to wash your hands. Well, wash your hands after the hot Cheetos before you use the condoms. That's my only advice. Yeah.
You got to follow before the hot Cheetos or it's a mess.
Unless you want a
spicy mess.
Kick.
Unless you want to kick.
With a little bit of shoulder shit. Wait, have you been watching my Romanian dance videos?
I needed to do some research before I came on here.
And that's all she found?
Yeah, I didn't do much research.
Well, you won't get pickpocketed either.
Hilary won't, as we've learned.
I guess, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, how many lives do you have?
Just one, but I've been really lucky.
How many you got left? East Hollywood is sketchy.
I shouldn't have played around. But I look back and I'm like, oh, I was stupid. I got home and I was like, Ashley,
right.
But you went home. So I was like, Ashley, I had a traumatic night. I need a human.
I know, when I wasn't here.
But I will say, though, those bird scooters in the middle of the night are really fun. When there's no cars and you can just like cruise.
If you're not by yourself with people, yes, I agree.
I'll get on them by myself.
I think I've only ridden the bird like once and I was useless on it.
Wait, only once?
Yeah. I needed to come home once.
I get that they're a nuisance, no doubt, but like they're fun. They are fun.
They seem like fun. I'm new to it, so I'm scared.
I think you're fine. Do you know how to ride a bicycle?
Yeah.
If you've ridden a bicycle, you're fine. You're
This
good.
is nothing like it, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy and you're just flying. And like you can go fast and it feels safe. Although I've seen a few people wreck. A guy wrecked on one and knocked a cup out of my friend's hand. We were in Venice and there was like a bump. He wrecked. He like tried to save himself, knocked the cup out, and then fell into the middle of the street and his sunglasses flew off. And it was dark. So we were like, because it was like Venice Boulevard. We were gonna go eat at a restaurant. So I was like waving because the cars were coming as he was like trying to get up and leave because I was like, they're gonna hit him.
You're gonna save his life.
He got away.
Do you remember by In-N-Out when that guy on the boat got hit by a car?
Oh my gosh, no. When was I there?
Yes, you were there. It was to watch that little comedy thing at your friend's by In-N-Out. Someone was like coming out of the
yes, yeah, I completely forgot about that.
At Sycamore?
No. But okay, so not In-N-Out, but a little side street behind. We parked to go to a guy had like a comedy show in his apartment, and this guy birded by and
birded by
English.
He birded by, and the guy I can't remember if he opened the door and the guy hit it and then fell over, right? Wasn't that what happened?
No, I think he was coming out of the parking and the guy was just also birding at the same time and he hit him. And he just like he got up pissed and like just went off.
Birded off. And the guy was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like he acted like he was wanted by the cops or something.
He's definitely a burden.
Yeah. That is a word, right? He birded by? No? Okay. Scooted by?
I've never heard it used like that.
How would they use it in Romania?
I like how you just keep putting it on me until I say something that sounds Romanian.
Actually, he's trying to get.
I'm not half Romanian. I'm not half Eastern European.
I'm fully Eastern European.
I'm not.
See, she's not at all either. So you're the only one.
I'm trying to think of what I would say without sounding like Borat. That's the problem because that's been brought back into people's minds. Yes. And so like the last thing you want to do is do a Borat impression on a podcast, you know?
And lose all our listeners.
All credibility.
51.6% of them.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
I wanted her to know the audience so she could appeal better.
Yeah, did you tailor something about your look to the Romanian audience that we don't even know about?
Yeah,
right.
That's why my hair's up.
So this is hilarious actually. When I went to Romania, their money is called RON. It's hilarious. It's so fun. This is RON. It's like RON Ron. That's their money. So it's just some dude named Ron on the bill. No, but it is called Ron. And
is it McDonald? No. Okay.
It isn't.
Funny.
But when I got there, the inflation was so bad that they dropped 3 zeros from their money. So all the 1,000 RON bills became ones. So these were now 1 RON. So like all the new bills, the thousands became the 1, and they just like started from there, and they got rid of all the coins. Oh, it's weird, right? I mean, it doesn't even make sense to say, but like they dropped 3 zeros from all of their money because they were in the millions. They needed like 1 million RON to like buy shit.
Oh.
So they were like, let's just scale this back. We'll call 1 million 1,000. 1,000 is now 1. Let's just start from there. So right when I got there, like old bills were still said 1,000, and then the new ones said 1.
How many RONs to $1?
I don't remember.
They robbed you. They wronged you.
They wronged you.
They definitely wronged me.
See, there's no good Ron jokes that aren't cheesy. I had like 5 run through my head, and I already said one that was cheesy. And if I keep going, I'm gonna get kicked off the podcast. So.
Your own podcast?
My own podcast.
You're gonna get kicked off.
Yeah, they're not being funny.
I mean, it is funny now that you point out that like all this time I tried to spend not getting robbed. I did just get robbed by the actual like economy, like the inflation. I was just robbed of 1,000 RON like off the bat. So you're right.
So it didn't matter if they pickpocketed you. The government pickpocketed you.
Basically.
It was one of the weirdest places I've ever been. It was the only place, and I've been to many, many places, but Romania was the only place that they were like, don't go out at night. And I actually believed them. Like they would say that, like I've been to Belize and they were like, don't go out at night. Don't go in this neighborhood. I was like, fuck that. Like I went anyway. But for some reason, I got a vibe in Romania that they were like, don't go out at night. And I was like, okay. And I did not.
What do you think happened at night?
Well, the reason I believed it, it seemed believable because when I first got to the train station, it felt like very chaotic. And there was like one guy that was like coming to pick us up. And he was this American guy that had been living there for a long time. He's like, come here, come on, let's go. And he was like, don't stop walking. Don't look at any children. Cause like the children are the ones that fucking rob you.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't the normal reason to not look at children.
And don't look at kids because we read about you. Yeah. So I didn't fuck around in Romania. We went out during the day, did the Transylvania castle tour.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah. And then just went back that night, didn't do shit, hung out at the hostel, drank some Romanian beers. That's it. I think we watched Pulp Fiction there too, if I remember correctly.
Sounds very Romanian of you.
Yeah, so we didn't remain in the country for very long because we like nightlife. So.
Okay, see, no matter what. Wait, so are you watching the Super Bowl today? You don't watch football, right?
No, but I think I might. My friends are having a Zoom Super Bowl party. So
reclusive of you.
Are you watching it?
Yeah. At a party.
Hilary?
A real party. Hilary doesn't give a fuck about the NFL.
Well, neither do I.
No, I know you don't, but she literally, like, I forget that it's such an American thing.
I don't. It's the most American stupid thing in the world.
I'm not
I only know Tom Brady because he's the butt of a bunch of jokes.
I don't even know who Tom Brady is.
See, I'm not saying, and he's, anyway, I'm just saying because, not that I forget it's not American, but I forget not everybody cares. That's all.
What sports do you like, Hilary, if any?
I have to explain this. I play netball, which is like a softened down version of basketball, if I'm going to describe it. You can't
the ball itself is softened?
The ball itself is actually smaller because our woman hands are smaller.
Of course.
And we can't like run with the ball. You can't bounce.
So you have to stand?
With the ball or just stand?
You can like hover on one foot. You can like run until you have the ball. But
so
you
it's kind of like ultimate frisbee?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you shoot it into a net.
Yes. And it's a ball, not a frisbee.
Right.
So that's your favorite sport?
Yes.
Is there professional?
I could have probably if I pushed, but it wasn't just something I was too passionate about.
Oh, so you could. So I was asking, is there a professional level? But so you yourself could have played professional netball.
Like semi-professional. You know, like not up there, but like here.
Could have got you into college or something.
Yes, it almost did, but I didn't.
Damn. I don't think we've ever had a semi-professional athlete on the podcast before.
Not to be your most impressive guest, but
what's the most impressive thing about you, Hilary?
Man,
that's a hard question.
Yeah, you're gonna make me rethink a few things in my life.
You don't have to answer, seriously.
Impressive. I don't know, Ashley, what's impressive about me?
One of her videos that she posted on TikTok went so viral that it like has been shared on like 15 pages, and it has probably like 10 million views now, if not more than that.
Overall,
100 million maybe.
Probably overall, not on my video alone, but like it's been viewed a few times here and there.
A few times. What was this video of?
It was me tying my bonnet, and like it's a black problem. I don't know.
Wait, what? Wait, I just missed the last 5 seconds of this podcast.
Good.
What just happened?
Pardon?
Go ahead.
It was basically a video about like me tying my bonnet to sleep at night and it falling off. And I made it relatable.
Was it funny?
I think so.
It was meant to be funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and everybody liked it.
Yeah.
I got to check this video out.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn.
And then what else is impressive about Hilary?
Oh, she's still thinking.
There's more.
Well, she has like 600 subscribers on YouTube, and her YouTube channel is very funny.
Okay.
And she's getting her master's in acting here in the US all by herself while her family's all the way in South Africa. So that's impressive.
That is impressive. Now, yes, I'm way on board now.
Yeah. And she's a good writer.
Oh, I'm just going to ask Ashley to walk around with me if she's going to. I was like,
And this is my resume, Ashley.
Thank you. I'll bring her into all my acting auditions.
Hell yeah.
And I'll just state everything amazing about you and then be like, okay, go ahead, proceed.
It's definitely a good look. People like that stuff. You got to stand out. And then you should just also just like play the TikTok video just on your phone for the people. Like while they're like, okay, Hilary, go ahead. Yep. Action.
Every audition like, from now on.
Wait a minute. I have a presentation that I'd like to do for you. This is my friend Ashley. Go ahead, Ashley. And then she just plays your best TikTok video and then gives a bunch of your accolades. And there's a lot of people in the waiting room because they're all behind. They're backed up because it's an audition casting zone, and you know how that sucks. And they're all mad anyway. They've been there since 8 a.m. and they've just seen people all day, and they honestly don't give a shit at this point. And you're just going to take up more of their time because you want to stand out and you think this is the way to do it. So you brought your friend to the audition. So things are going well. And I'm sorry to let you know that you didn't book it.
So are you trying to single-handedly ruin her career, or you just want her to stand out?
Both.
You know, right. I
assume I'm going to be doing all of this, even for every single role. So when I'm reading for cashier number 7.
And your only line is, here.
That is the best though, when people take that shit like real seriously, and it's like you're on screen for like less than 1 second, but people are just like, dude,
I've been saying here 70 times a day, and I put different inflections in to make this to become a cashier. I applied at Trader Joe's so I could feel the energy.
You literally like break up with your boyfriend that day. You're like, we're like, this is it. Like, I'm moving up in the world. Like, I need somebody who's gonna like pull me up rather than bring me down. Okay.
For nothing.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you, Hilary, for being on Reclusive. Just kidding. Reckless and the Recluse. You're the recluse today, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for visiting.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Do I leave or is it good close?
No,